This is Toasted with Revolution News and Information. I am here with a very special, honored guest, David Fry. How are you doing, David Fry?
Hey, I'm doing very, very well. Better than being in jail.
So, tell us your story from when I last spoke to you on the refuge till now. Tell us your story, man.
Since I left from the refuge, basically, um, I guess the FBI came in and we had that whole spiel thing going on there. Turned myself in, and the FBI interrogated me illegally. My lawyer, told or invoked my rights there, and they ignored that. Then, of course, we go to jail and all kinds of crap going on there. Um, I mean, it's just kind of a broad 9 months to speak out, I guess, but this whole time, just a lot of corruption going on, within the people arresting you, the place that they transport you, the jail, there's more illegal stuff going on. And there's just the court system, illegal stuff going on. It's like every part of this whole justice system, there's all this illegal stuff going on. I noticed within the 9 months. I don't know if everybody heard, but they put me in a cell with human feces on the walls and floor and stuff, and it's just crap like that going on. It's if you guys ask more specific stuff, I can answer those, but just too broad to really. What you want to know?
We don't have a time limit here, so you can basically bring forth anything you want. Um, I guess I don't want to bring up anything negative. I just want to keep it positive, man. What is it like to stand up for everybody's rights? You were the last one off the refuge. My friend Rage Wolf said that you had the testicular fortitude to do something that nobody else got anybody to do, which is tell the FBI to say hallelujah. How does it feel?
Um, Basically, I guess I just asked. Did you ask why I said that? I kind of missed a little bit.
No, I said, how does it feel to do that for everybody in this country?
It's I was just doing what was coming natural to me. Um, I was really. It feels great, I guess, to be able to stand up, for the rights and stuff. I wasn't doing it for anyone specifically. I was just, like I said, I was just doing came natural as a human being, defending what you believe in. Um, and I think sometimes people give me maybe too much credit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's all right. It feels weird being out for sure. Everything's kind of gone some chaotic and whatnot to just now it's normal, I guess.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah.
How do you feel now about knowing that the system is so infiltrated?
Um, yeah, that is a problem. I feel like obviously the good people aren't, I guess, exposing those infiltrators. Maybe they just don't even know that they're in there. A lot of these informants that we had with that infiltrated, obviously the whole thing in Oregon, people didn't know they were infiltrators, but people, I think most organizations have infiltrators in them. I'm not sure how we can fix that problem. We probably got to. Actually, you know what? I was going to say we should probably expose him, but believe this. There's a guy that was in jail when we were in jail there. He actually exposed the informants, and and he was charged for impeding federal officers for doing that.
Yeah.
So it's technically illegal. The government has made it illegal to expose informants, believe it or not. Um,
I believe it.
I honestly, this problem, I wish I could say what we should do, but it wouldn't probably fly so well. We just got to stand together.
Yeah,
Just, you
understand.
know, but there's I think every militia network, there's probably at least one FBI in every single main known network. Um, they're all keeping tabs on all the leaders are being threatened to not act. Um, so I know I'm well aware that this is a huge problem.
Do you
And
think that some of the infiltrators are actually provocateurs themselves,
um,
where they would incite?
yes, I do think there are a lot of those within most of the networks, and then of course they'll probably hire some crazy stuff during an event to go do that kind of stuff. I know Occupy Wall Street had the same problem. Apparently, at this Oregon, one here, there was some people that were saying they're telling people to try to burn some of the vehicles or buildings or whatever. They got kicked out. The ones trying to incite to destroy property. So they're there. They're there.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, I hope I answered them correctly. Mine's a little bit fuzzy, so it might be kind of like.
Hey, that's all right, man. That's all right. So, you know what? For the beginners out there, I'm going to ask stupid questions that I believe are stupid to me, but may not be stupid to other people. So, what started all this? I already know that, but please enlighten us from your point of view.
Okay. Did you? I'm sorry. Did I miss a question?
Everybody says it is. Um, so, can you tell us, like, from where it began to uh, where it ended, basically?
With the whole Hammond situation?
Yes.
The Hammond situation, that's still ongoing. Um, I wish I don't feel comfortable saying some of the things I know about that just because it's still ongoing. Um, yeah. The all I'll say is that the FBI, there's groups in our government that are just real nasty people who will use all means necessary to silence people. Um, and they'll go to any lengths to do that. And so it's just people. I just don't think maybe a lot of people do, but this corruption in our country is astounding, sick. And how you saw it with the FBI. I mean, how they didn't charge Hillary Clinton. I mean, how can that happen? I mean, she's blatantly violating the law. So that just shows how crooked our system is, how lawless it is. So, I mean, they'll do anything, go to any lengths to preserve their power. And until people realize what's at stake, they're going to continue to follow that path.
Wow, man. Uh, I would definitely like to have you on again, especially tonight. I'd like to keep in touch with you. You've already got my Facebook. Um, I feel like I'm doing this wrong, but you know what? Uh, on the hangout tonight, if you're available, what time does the judges round table start? Judges, grand jury, administration, Dixie. Anyone?
The grand jury for what?
Oh,
You.
yes. What's the number for tonight? I mean, yeah. What's the? Could you tell David a little bit about the calls that we've been covering?
Um, well, I guess the best way to put it is allowing Judge DW to get on because he's better at explaining. I'm just the researcher. I'm the researcher and the mouthy one. So I do more of the standing up for people, and he does more of the explaining. So here he is.
All right, what do you want to know, Toast?
I'd like you to tell David Fry about tonight's show with the Continental Marshals, judges, and grand jury.
Well, tonight actually is the We the People on Colorado and the gathering of the judges. They'll start off at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so just got to do the time zones. It'll start off with We the People, be the grand jury assembly at 9:15 to 10:15, actually 9:15 to 10 Eastern Standard Time, and then from 10 till whenever it's the gathering of the judges.
And Judge
So you might be.
Bruce,
We can probably talk. We can probably talk to Judge Johnson about bringing him on real quick.
yeah, that would be awesome. If you're available tonight, David, I don't want to interfere in the schedule that you have.
Not much of a schedule. It's just kind of random. Everything's just random right now.
Well, here, I'll give you the call number then.
Actually, I plan to have him on the hangout tonight so he can be our guest and be on their show. Because he doesn't have a phone right now because the FBI still has it.
Yeah, they still got my phone and my flash drive, my laptop, my wallet with all my credit cards and stuff in there. They make it such a pain in the butt to get anything back.
David, I don't know if you'll remember me. Right before everything started collapsing there, I was on a phone call with you asking what you guys need, and I was ordering from Amazon paper plates, plastic utensils, styrofoam cups, and that box was shipped. But the snacks, like I had ordered cookies and candy bars and things, that package was a little bit delayed. But when everything started falling apart there, and that one utensils box was shipped out, it was never shipped back or returned or anything, so they still have that box and evidence too. I think they're holding all of the artifacts.
The artifacts.
From that occupation, all the packages that were shipped and not opened yet, and probably just everything that they could collect from that. I think they're holding all of it.
You talk about the Paiute stuff, right?
No, I mean all of their evidence things.
Oh, our evidence.
Yeah. I call them artifacts. I'm sorry, but it kind of fits in. A box was shipped out. It wasn't returned, so they must be holding it. Supplies, just supplies that you guys needed. I called you a couple of times when you were out there.
Okay. Did I answer?
Oh yeah, we talked. Yeah.
Okay.
I told you I was just a mom with a couple of sons your age, and it's little trivial things, but you have been through so much since that time that I hardly expect you to remember.
Yeah, my memory is really foggy with
Yeah.
details. I try to remember. I mean, usually it comes back. Little trigger events will bring the memory back. Sure, there's something in there.
I called you the night that the boy was murdered and Pete was arrested. He told you what was happening, and Pete said to get the women and children out. That was me.
I bet you remember this one. Thank you, man. Thank you. I can't believe it. Thank you, man. And I just kept on repeating myself like a stupid turd. My bad.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
It was a call to Rev Radio that we were doing.
Okay.
Somehow you got through to Rev Radio. I'd like to have some insight on that, but not on air. Not on air.
I do remember calling.
What?
I think. Who was it? Wasn't it Rev Radio that I called that? Then all the trolls were coming, like we're taking calls.
Yeah. I wasn't a troll. I was thanking you, man.
Yeah. But there was trolls. Like someone I think threatened us, saying we're lucky that we had the FBI there because they were planning to do something bad or something where they're along those lines.
I don't remember that. Damn.
I don't remember that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just I called several people out during that last 2 weeks. Just trying to.
If like I asked you if you remember Judge Bruce Doucette, and well, I actually host his show on Sundays, every Sunday.
I do remember Judge Bruce Doucette. He was supposed to be the one, well, obviously the judge, for the grand jury indictment thing that they were trying to do down there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck that really totally was.
It's
I've
common.
never heard of something.
It's common law, is what it is.
Yeah. I kind of find out from my lawyer about it a little bit, but
Well,
he says our government doesn't acknowledge that.
I would like to extend the knowledge that I have gathered and the knowledge that I continue to gather to you, and also extend the olive branch that, hey, if you want to come forth with anything at all, look me up, man. I've followed you on Google Hangouts. You got me places. We're good there. So, I offer my channel to you, basically. Revolution News and Information on YouTube. I have the original Defend Your Base right here. And he defended his base up until the very last second. I swear to God he did. I heard that on the phone.
I did. Yeah.
Can T ask a couple of questions?
What?
Yeah.
Can T ask a couple of questions?
I don't mind.
Hey, David, this is T. I'm more of a left side of the paradigm. And I just had a few things to say, actually, and I'd like to know if you had feedback. First, I'd like to thank you for being really, I guess, the only patriot that I have some compassion for. I'm sorry, if we don't speak frankly, we're not going to find any common ground. And I'm talking about Americans in general, but just letting you know where I'm coming from. But first, I'd like to thank you for your peaceful way of conveying that Islam is not our enemy. And secondly, I just wanted to inform you, I know you've been gone for a while, but while you were gone, it came out that the FBI did entice the shootings in Garland, Texas at the Pamela Geller Draw the Prophet Muhammad contest. There was an FBI agent involved, and he told the shooters to tear up Texas And that was very shocking to me, and it made me think a lot about you guys and what's going on there and what happened at the shooting range. And I'll do the talking on that because I understand there are legal issues, and you probably have had enough and really don't want to talk about that. But those are the few things I wanted to say, and truly from my heart, thank you for your peaceful way of conveying your ideas and to make it clear that Islam itself is not our enemy.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes more deeper than that. That's actually, we're seeing a lot of media using divide and conquer tactics. Obviously, it's some sort of protocol within their deceptive group or whatever. So they're using, this whole anti-Islam thing as a smoke screen, getting people more divided. But I saw through it, and I was just hoping everybody do see it too. So thanks for seeing that, acknowledging that. A lot of people don't want to say anything good about Islam, I guess, in a sense, just because it brings a lot of negativity.
I have an open channel. I really do.
That's good.
That's good. Yes, it's very much appreciated, and I was very thankful to be invited, and I'm truly honored, David. You're just such a little stinker. I'm old enough to be your mother, so I can call you that. But that meant a lot to me personally. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for I guess believing in me.
Yes. Would you believe our, I believe political reasons, but our channel was actually striked.
Striked for what?
It was striked for the YouTube spam and misleading terms of service, and it was on a show that wasn't even streamed yet. So go figure.
Huh.
Yeah, but that's why we're doing a recording right now, and I can do recording on the fly. I've got the camera up in some of the video, and the revolution will not be televised in the rest of the video. I hope that's all right. It should be, We're bringing the truth out right here, right now.
Well, it's true. The revolution will not be televised. In fact, our government has laws in place, that we don't know about that's doing that. I think maybe you guys heard about it or not, but there's the, how there's Department of Education, Department of, drugs and all that stuff, but there's a Department of Media. Something along those lines. I don't know the exact term, but there's a department that monitors the media. And there was an article that came out about that latest Iron Man movie, how the government told them that they couldn't talk about certain things or introduce certain things because it's too real.
Right.
And so if people don't think our media is censored or all that stuff for governmental issues, I mean, they got their heads up their butt. It's happening. And I'm sure all the medias have stopped talking about it. We're told to not talk about the protest, the Oregon thing in a positive light. They have to only talk about it in a bad manner. And Alex Jones just kind of disappeared off the radar. As soon as he was gone, everybody should have known, that something was happening after that. So I'm pretty sure he was contacted, told not to talk about it. They're threatening people to that if they talked about it and people supported them and went out and did something, that they would be held liable. So that's why a lot of people didn't talk about it.
Well, you can talk about anything you want on here without censorship. I've got a pretty nice disclaimer in the description below if anybody wants to see it. So that way it covers everything. Freedom of speech is... Go ahead.
I'd like to say something about that. I've just like in the past couple of days have heard about in Iceland they have a pirate party is the name of the political party. And it's actually here in the United States now. Massachusetts has a pirate party, and I'm just looking into that. And in the future, if anyone looks it up and would like to talk about that, it looks very promising. And they are even offering Edward Snowden asylum there in Iceland through the pirate party. And it looks like something that maybe we can left and right come together on.
Pirate party.
Yeah, it even sounds cool, huh? Yeah, it's the pirate party. And I know in Massachusetts, they are working on legalizing marijuana. They have a candidate there. Again, I haven't researched a lot on it, but it looks pretty neat.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds interesting.
David, I would like to thank you for bringing up the whole media thing because, I talk to a lot of friends around here where I live, and they don't believe that the media is controlled. They think that we have the freedom of the press. And I'm really glad you brought that up because I want to make sure to share that with the people that I talk to, because I keep trying to tell them that it's controlled. Everything that we see, the government says yay or nay as to whether or not they can put that out there for us. And so I'm really glad that you brought that out because I know a lot of people that really, they think you're a hero for the American people. So you bringing it out will really help to get people educated in this country as to what's really going on.
Yeah. Just to throw one more thing out about that whole censorship is our government actually also censors video games. I'm a big video game fan, obviously. But I know a lot of people have heard that game Grand Theft Auto, but I've actually read that our government suppressed or censored in the video game where it's like you go around you stealing cars and things like that. But in the game you can drive through chain link fences, but originally you couldn't. It was made to be in real life. If you try to drive through a chain link fence, it doesn't go through. It just crash. But in the game they make you believe that you can do these things. So they purposely mislead people to believing, what's possible or what not, so they can catch them, I guess, in a sense, because in real life, if they tried it, they would get stopped. But so a lot of our government suppresses information that actually could help, I guess, just know what you can and can't do in a sense. They just want to keep us dumb.
Kind of gives us subliminal messages when we're playing the games or whatever to make us think that we can do something that, of course, physically we can't do. I'm going to tell my sons about that because they play that game.
Yeah. I don't play that game. I just don't think it's a moral game.
Yeah, me either. But my sons, they drive me nuts playing it.
Yeah, I never bought it. I played the old ones a couple times with some people, but I never really got into it too much.
Yeah, they like to play a lot of online games too, and you can tell where some things there are censored too with the online stuff too. I can't remember what the name of it is, but they play some of the online games, where you can play with other people and, have conversations and stuff. And I keep trying to tell them, would you quit playing those things? You're being listened to while you guys are talking,
Well, I think that not when you're playing a game where I think that whole being listening into thing is a scare tactic they put out there by the government. I just don't think they have the resources to be listening to everybody. They just don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't. They don't have the resource to do that. You have to be targeted. There's a specific reason they want to be after you. Like a lot of people are scared. The government's listening in on their phones and stuff like that. But unless you're actually really making noise, then they won't pay attention to it. But we give them way too much credit about their.
Good point. I gotta say, even when I was watching you guys on mainstream media, I wasn't listening to what they were saying. I was busy cheering you guys on, and I was like, man, they're lying, and yelling at the reporters, and my family was like, can you calm down? So I didn't believe what they were saying, but I was like, yeah. you know, and I was kind of sad when it didn't go down quite the way we were hoping it would. But, you know, I'm really glad that you guys got out, and I know you guys still have some more challenges ahead of you, you know, and I'm praying for you, all of you, you know, but I really love what you guys did out there.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. It was, again, I mean, just a lot of people felt like they had a calling to be out there. So, I mean, it's not, I don't really want to take credit for anything like that, because obviously I think it goes to a higher power.
You know something? I actually wanted to go myself. The only reason why I didn't go is I didn't have transportation out there. However, I did meet another person in my town that actually wanted to go as well. But you want to know something? I was actually blessed by not going because I was able to learn so much about what is going on in the real world. I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah. It's just everybody has a purpose, I guess, in a sense. You know, people that were told not to go on the last day, like the boy died. You know, it's just everybody has these reasons to go or not go. And then, of course, the people who left because they had to. You know, they were told to. Maybe it's just weird how everything works out. Yeah, I can sit around for a little bit.
All right, well, thank you. This has been David Fry, and I am Toasted with Revolution News and Information. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'm also going to include a link to David's channel here, Defend Your Base, in the description below. And I appreciate him so much, and I am so honored to have him here with us. Thank you again, David.
Hey, it was a pleasure to be here. Keep spreading the news. Oh, one more thing I forgot to say is people need to look up. This is my next big thing is.
Go ahead.
People need to look up the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. And you see all these problems going on right now for like the oil pipeline, and then how, you know, they're saying they wanted the uranium from the Hammonds and perhaps the Bundy Ranch. You know, there's uranium that they want. But this Invention Secrecy Act, what it does is they have been suppressing technology that threatens the establishment of the atomic energy people or the oil companies or the economy. And so among one of the things that are being suppressed by law is solar panels that exceed 20% efficiency. And I posted it on...
What?
Yeah, by law. It's... They have a law in place that suppresses technology that they think will threaten the economy or the power grid or the oil companies. And I can get more into it later, perhaps. But people need to research that law, the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, and then you'll realize why we haven't got off of oil or.
You know, I was wondering about that, and my daughter was talking about getting solar panels and that. But they can't exceed 20%?
That's right. They have a law that keeps them from going past 20% because it's considered a national security threat. And
oh my goodness.
Right now our solar panels have been running at like 10 to 15%. 15% is really, really expensive. But there's technology that has been suppressed that would exceed 20%. And they just don't allow it, you know, give it to us.
So do you think it's about money or do you think it's about power or both?
Oh, it's about money and power. Should I just give you guys the whole scoop on this one real quick? It's not.
Yeah, please.
So what's going on? This is really serious. What I'm about to say is, we remember the Cold War, how we decommissioned, you know, all our nuclear weaponry with the Russians. You know, we made a deal.
Yep, I remember that.
And so we have nuclear companies, running around that are burning up their uranium fuel rods, but you need spent fuel rods for the war, to use those for war. We've been using depleted uranium as bullets that we use in Iraq. Our government uses the leftovers of the nuclear reactors for war. So if we switched over to solar companies or solar panels and have no more use for these nuclear power plants, then they can't prove that it's only used for energy. Like our government, if they had continued to use these nuclear plants, everybody in the world would know that the only reason that they're running is for war, to use the byproduct. And so that's why they won't switch away from the nuclear, power plants, is because they want that byproduct. And so that's just causing a lot of problems. They're all leaking. It's just becoming a dangerous situation how they're running right now. In fact, just leave it at that. It's all about war.
So that's probably why it's hard to find like wood burning stoves these days and stuff like that. Things that
EPA
would keep
regulations.
I mean, like you were talking about, solar panels and uranium and that, and I'm thinking about the pipeline thing going on in North Dakota, with the Native Americans there. I'm in Minnesota, so I'm right by them. And I'm thinking all of this is just about, they don't want us to be self-sufficient, because if we're self-sufficient, then we can stand on our feet and say no more.
That's right. And that's another thing is, anytime you do something the government doesn't like, what's the first thing they want to do? Is they cut your power. They always threaten to cut your power. So of course they don't want people on solars, but the ultimate reason is it's being used for war. They need that byproduct. They need the reactors to constantly burn the freaking fuel rods to make it somewhat depleted.
Yeah, because for some reason war brings money, and it also tears down the population. They take away our young men and women when there's a war. And of course they always make money off of war.
Oh yeah, the big people in charge are funding both sides. History's proven that. And they keep protecting the oil companies, because all our weapons of vehicles of war use oil. So they need oil constantly being pumped.
You got so much information. I'm going to check out your channel.
I actually know a lot about the electric industry in Texas anyway, and it is such a racket. Our politicians are invested. Not only I know about the electricity industry alone. The same company that owns the power plant owns the TDSP, which is the person who comes in, the company that comes and actually maintains the power lines, and your meters and whatnot. Also owns the retail provider, who is the company who sends your bill and customer service. They own all three, but it's three separate entities, so it looks legitimate. Then our